Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today's video is another episode of Chatting in My Closet. You may be wondering where I am because it doesn't look like I'm in my closet anymore. That's because I recently moved. If you watched my latest vlog, I shared in there that I was moving. I have successfully moved to my new place and managed to find this little nook that's like somewhat presentable. I know the walls are really empty and it's not the most ideal setup right now, but this was like one of the more presentable corners of my apartment. So I at least wanted to film this video and be able to upload on schedule. So I hope you understand. For those of you who are not familiar, Chatting in My Closet is a series I do on my channel where I talk about a specific topic. A lot of times they're very fashion focused. I share my pretty candid thoughts on that particular topic, and then I open the floor to all of you guys to share your thoughts in the comment section down below to continue the conversation. It's meant to be an open space for open dialogue and really respectful of everyone's opinions because everyone can have a different opinion. So today's topic is actually going to be on designer collaborations. I feel like we see a lot of this happening in the industry across the different tiers of fashion. So from really high end to your more fast fashion, affordable brands as well. I have my little notebook here with my thoughts that I want to make sure I share. But as always, I want to hear more from you guys. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. For today's video, I'm focusing on like luxury fashion brand collaborations more than like, there's always like the, like the Target designer collaborations where they have, those higher end brands do a collab where they release a collection through Target. So there's those kinds of collaborations. I'm not really focused on those. I'm talking more about the luxury brands doing high profile collaboration. Overall, I really like the concept and I understand the potential synergy, the impact that that kind of collaboration can have to both brands, the benefit that each brand can get from the association, the boost in sales, the natural kind of phenomenon that can occur, the hype that can occur around having that kind of a limited collection. I feel like it almost feeds into those limited drops that the brands are doing for their collections anyway, and I see it as a very effective marketing tool, and is a way to inject some sort of creativity, some freshness to a brand, right? And I like the concept. Overall, I really like the concept. And there are some really iconic collaborations, like the Louis Vuitton Supreme collaboration was massive. The Virgil Nego collaboration is pretty big. The Chanel Pharrell collection is another one that stands out in my mind. So there are some that are like really, they either stand out or they made a mark, and you can even see the continued resale value of those pieces, kind of maintain at a certain really high level. But I think there's a flip side of it too, where there can be almost too much. Too much collaboration could sort of dilute the brand a little bit. And like, for example, I can think of Dior Homme. So when Kim Jones first came to Dior Homme, I think his first collection was the Dior Cause collaboration, and I loved it. I really liked it. I felt like it was really fresh. I liked that it was a designer who was trying to bring in other artists to be able to maybe bring some more awareness to another artist and do that kind of interesting collab. I liked that, it was a collaboration with more of a graphic artist versus it being like another like really like fashion person, or you know what I mean? Like it was someone else who was creative, who had a very different, also an artist, also in the creative space, but not necessarily someone that you would automatically assume with a brand like Dior. So I thought that was really fresh. It was really cool. Kim Jones continued to do more collaborations with Daniel Arsham. There are like a whole bunch. And like, it got to a point where I was like, is there a single collection that Kim Jones actually designed on his own? Like, I feel like every single collection is a collaboration with another artist, which is great. But also, like, where do I see like Kim Jones's color coming through? Like, I don't know if I really do. You know what I mean? It's mostly like feeding off the energy from the other artist who's collaborating versus it being like Kim Jones is really bringing something like his unique perspective to Dior Homme. You know, like the collaboration itself, of course, incorporates Kim Jones's vision, his viewpoint, his perspective, and it's curated through the lens of Kim Jones, I'm sure. But you know what I mean? Like, we haven't really seen a full-on collection that he's designed on his own. Maybe like the fall collection from last year was like a capsule collection. And, you know, that happened during the pandemic. So I think that was like out of necessity. He had to, like, it was almost impossible to do some sort of collaboration because of all the lockdowns and shutdowns and stuff like that. But it's just, it's one of, like, it just turned into, I mean, for me, it's like turned into a running joke. I'm just like, the next collection, I'm like, oh, like who else is gonna do the work for Kim Jones for this collection, you know? I mean, that's like sort of harsh to say it that way, and I know I'm oversimplifying for sure, but I feel like that demonstrates the flip side of collaboration, like when it's either too much or not done right, where it can sort of really not play in the favor for the brand, because, you know, I'm not particularly interested in looking at the next collection and seeing what's coming. Like, the beginning of this year, they launched another Stussy collection, and I'm like, you already did that last year. I know it was for the Lunar New Year, but I was sort of like, you already did that last year. Like, why are you doing that again? It's like getting to a point where I feel like it's just too much. Like, Dior Homme is relying a little too much on these collaborations, drawing interest into a collection. And then there are those like short collabs that are like, you know, the Loewe, My Neighbor Totoro, and someone else was doing a collab around that time. Gucci with Doraemon, like those are all interesting. I feel like sometimes they can get a little too played out, and sometimes they also have that air of like, they were being lazy, they just slapped their logo on something and, you know, called it a collab. So that's why personally I really like the Loewe collab, because I felt like, you know, I felt like the spirit of the actual film and the characters were well interpreted into the items that they were put on. I know there's some level of like, you know, you kind of slap it on a piece, but I felt like it was well incorporated. The Doraemon, I mean, Gucci has an ongoing like Disney like collab or line, so the Doraemon sort of felt like an extension of that. I think it's interesting for a house like Gucci, because they're so large. I feel like they can maintain this sort of side that does that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think, you know, I think here and there it's good to inject some newness, some new ideas, and some familiar characters maybe, and it can like tug at your heartstrings to want to get something. But I feel like when it's really like overdone or it's too frequent, it sometimes reads as like lazy to me. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about these kinds of designer collaborations? Do you like them? Do you think, like, what comes to your mind as like a really good collab versus a not so good collab? What do you like or dislike about them? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm going to read them and respond to all of them, so I look forward to reading those. But that's pretty much today's episode of Chatting in My Closet. It was around brand collaborations. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. We are almost at 3,000 subscribers, which is the next milestone at which I want to do a special giveaway on my channel. So if you haven't already and you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time, bye!